Well, I guess I lied a little bit. And we're back on the build phase. I'm Mr. Ben. Today, I want to talk about verses and I want to talk about Upper Deck. Now, yes, I know. In the last video that I put out on the channel, I might have even released as a podcast, I don't remember. Uh, I said this is going to be the last time I talk about Upper Deck. And at the time, I was pretty confident that was going to be true. I thought it was very unlikely that Upper Deck was going to ever be honest with us. I guess for those of you who it'd be a weird video to click on this one if you're not already familiar with the versus situation. But in case you are here, with regard to the versus situation, I guess I'm going to talk about the channel housekeeping a little bit at the end. But just the TLDR, Versus got announced that it was going to be canceled in 2024. Well, organized play was going to be canceled, and we kind of all knew that that eventually meant that the game was going to be canceled as a whole. In May of 2025, Fredo made a post about like, oh, there's information coming soon. It'd been months. And I said, I don't believe that anymore. I just straight up don't believe that there's some big announcement coming soon. And somebody goes, oh, well, does that mean that you think Fredo's lying? And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't phrase it that way. I think he's doing his job, but yes, I think the stuff Upper Deck was telling us last May was not true information. And I was banned from the Upper Deck Discord for this. I had Upper Deck employees lie about me and attack my character for what turns out to be the truth. I was right all along. So let's get into this. On March 17th of 2026, Fredo made this post. I'm going to read through this whole thing. There's some stuff to address, but we'll get to it. I want to get through the whole thing first. So today we have an important update to share with you. We have come to the difficult decision of ending the development and production of Versus System 2 PCG Marvel. This is the first time the game has ever been referred to as Versus System 2 PCG Marvel. Let's flag that, I'll come back to it. At this time, we do not have any expansions in development or production. With the closure of Versus System 2 PCG Marvel, we want to take the time to extend our appreciation to all the community and player base that embraced the game. Thank you to the players and fans who built communities, produced content, and organized events. Versus System 2 PCG, the actual name of the game, was able to enjoy over 50 plus releases. I think the actual number is 69, which is going to be funny to some immature people out there. Thanks to the support and love of the player base has shown over the last 10 years. Thank you for joining us on this incredible ride, the Upper Deck team. Okay, so this is not the first time that a hugely important, impactful announcement has been written by, I presume, Fredo, since this is his job, where he gets the name of the game wrong. So I know there's people that jump to Fredo's defense is like, no, he really cares. He's done nice things in other communities. Okay, I get that he's done nice things for legendary people. Dude lied about me. He slandered me after I correctly called him out for saying something that was untrue. Let's continue. So a lot of people grabbed onto Versus System 2 PCG Marvel as like, ooh, this must mean they're canceling Marvel, but Versus isn't dead. The fact that that door was left open when that is not what and I'm going to in a second confirm that that is not what they are doing. They are not leaving the door open for more Versus System. The game is canceled. But the fact that this statement, 2 years late, the game was ended in 2024. They lied about how they were going to do something with it throughout all of 2025. They reacted defensively when people pointed out that it seemed like they weren't being honest with us. And then we eventually get a post confirming again that I was right all along after Fredo personally attacked and said untrue things about me because I called him out with the truth. So that's all really frustrating. But setting that aside, people clung on to Versus System 2 PCG Marvel. Okay, so because Fredo's not good at his job and can't actually write a public relations statement that says what he intends to say, he had to follow up. So let's follow up. For Versus System 2 PCG, using the correct name of the game, the large majority of expansions were tied to that license. With the end of development of the majority of expansions, it it brings it a halt, to a halt, I assume he meant, shows the level of care. To clarify, we do not have any expansions in development. We do not have any expansions in development. Versus System is done. Finally, many, many months, lots of bad behavior, lies later, they finally tell us the thing that we knew all along. Versus System will remain on the store. I verified. Thanks. If anything changes to the availability, I've been asked to be updated. Cool. Uh, so that is absolutely confirming it. Now, I want to again talk about one kind of last detail. I pointed out that Fredo's failure to get the name of the game he's canceling correctly in his original post is an indication of his general lack of care. Upper Deck's general lack of care. They don't care about this game. They don't care about treating people who supported this game and love this game with any degree of respect at this point. And it is what it is. We've always been kind of an afterthought to Upper Deck. It's a little disappointing that they're this brazen with it, especially at this, there could have been a send off. We could have parted with decent feelings for each other instead of this. Somebody pointed that out in the Upper Deck Discord after this sham of an announcement and got banned because that's anyway. So one other thing I wanted to touch on for sure is the actual end of OP announcement, the thing that sort of triggered this off. I've mentioned it several times. You'll see I highlighted here the reference to the game as Versus 2 PCG system. This is just another piece of evidence in the lack of care that is being put into these announcements. They can't get the name of the game right. This is still up on Upper Deck's blog. They can't get the name of the game right when they're ending OP. They can't get the name of the game right when they're finally coming clean and being honest that they're canceling the game. They just can't get the name of the game right because they don't care. That's what it is. There was a time when there were people at Upper Deck who did care. I had working relationships with several people at Upper Deck, not just on Versus. And there were passionate people trying to do things. And the things that were trying to be done were not always met with support. In the same way that Fredo kind of, as a community manager, was hostile towards our community, the people who were passionate about Versus within Upper Deck also ran into some hostility. It's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is we were a small game. We apparently weren't big enough for Upper Deck to actually care enough to do like real basic stuff like treat us with honesty, which is disappointing. It's really sad that the way Upper Deck thinks of its community is more like this. So that's kind of all I have to say about Upper Deck for the rest of my life. I hope to never talk about them again. I'm not going to support any more of their products. I mean, the fact that they've decided to kill support for local game stores and the only way to get their products is to go to their website, and they're just trying to cut the place where you play board games. They're trying to cut the local game store out of the chain entirely, presumably so they can keep the local game stores part of the markup for themselves. I have nothing left to say about Upper Deck other than just disappointment and disgust. It's very frustrating that this is where we ended up. They never did actually, they named me Legendary Gamer. They never did follow through with the 10th game they owed me, never sent me the art print. At this point, I've given up on that stuff because this is Upper Deck. They don't do what they say they're going to do. And that's really disappointing. For most of the duration of this podcast, when I talked about things that Upper Deck did that really upset me, I was always very clear, hey, this isn't the individual employee. They have a whole corporation behind them that is kind of constraining their hands, forcing their hands, getting them to act in certain ways. And, generally, I did believe that right up until one of the employees just straight up slandered me and then ignored it and didn't fix it until they were called out by the community. At that point, okay, yeah, there's a bad company culture, but there's also some employees who behave pretty poorly. So I'm done with Upper Deck entirely. If Versus survives and the community ends up doing cool things with Versus in the future, I really hope there's a point in my life where I can look back on Versus and be excited about playing it again. The last few times I've tried to get out my cards and have fun with them, it I it, Upper Deck, I think that's the thing I'm most upset about, is that Upper Deck has figured out a way to ruin my ability to have fun with verses. Like canceling the game, I get it. The game wasn't making them money. That's fine. Lying to us for 2 years, lying about me specifically, uh, never taking responsibility for that, I find kind of disgusting and unethical. Okay, so I'm done talking about Upper Deck Forever. Channel update. Those of you may know that when I announced the end of the Build Phase podcast and more or less the end of my coverage of Versus, I said I still wanted to keep working on the channel, making YouTube videos for Dice Throne and the other games that I'm interested in. This remains to be true. What happened last year is I got my arm broken last March, and the recovery was like 3 months, and I was real gung-ho, like, oh, I'm going to come out of this recovery and I'm going to be ready to make videos. And what happened is I was plagued with pain in my right hand uh, for the whole year. Just I work typing and using a mouse a lot of my day, and that kind of holding my hand in that position exacerbated the pain that I was feeling. So the last thing I wanted to do when I came home was hop on my computer and work my mouse and try to edit videos and make content, which sucks. Um, I have finally kind of turned the corner on that, and pretty quickly after turning the corner on my arm recovery, and I blew my knee apart. So I'm old, and when I'm injured, while having an injured leg doesn't prevent me from working a mouse, it does make me not want to do it. And generally, when I'm making content, it's because I'm having fun with it. I'm doing it because I enjoy it. I really like being here, doing these things. But when I'm injured and I'm hurt, and all I want to do is just kind of sit and maybe like chit chat with my kids and then go to bed early, it's hard to get back to the computer. Now, excuses, excuses. All of that is preamble to say I am finally healthy all the way around, and I would very much like to get back to producing some videos, writing some stuff. I miss making content, so I don't want the channel to be dead, and I especially don't like the idea that the last two videos I've made have been just like so negative talking about Upper Deck. So I gotta get some more videos out there that have positive, useful content where I'm trying to add value to the community instead of just complaining and being bitter about the unfortunate things that happened at the end of the life cycle of Versus. So that's my goal for the future. Over the coming months, I want to very much buckle back down into some content creation and make some videos and start having fun with games, having fun with this channel again. Using this as a place to talk about things that bum me out and suck is not, that's not what I want this channel to be about. So, uh, maybe in the future we'll talk about Versus again. Seems very unlikely. So from here on out, it's probably going to be more Dice Throne, Unmatched, these other games that I really enjoy playing. So that's all I got for you guys. Go win some games.